Hello, today I'm going to talk about the security of NFC. First I'm going to tell you what it is, followed by how it works and how to use it. Next I'm going to tell you how secure it is and what its weaknesses are. Then I'll show a hack analysis, and in the end you can see the sources that I used. I'll put the links in the description in case you'd like to read more about it. So what is NFC? NFC stands for Near Field Communication, and it's a short-range, high-frequency, wireless communication technology. The technology is mainly aimed for mobile devices. The connection can be established by touching the two phones or keeping them in a close proximity of up to 10 centimeters. It allows for data exchange between two active devices, or one active and one passive device. How does NFC work? It uses electromagnetic induction in order to transmit information. One major benefit of this is that it can be used to induce electric currents within passive components. This means that passive devices don't require their own power supply. The downside of this is that the range only reaches up to about 10 centimeters, unlike Bluetooth, which can transmit data up to 10 meters or more. NFC runs in the 13.56 MHz range. The applications you typically find running in this spectrum are payment cards, library systems, e-passports, smart cards and things like that. At this frequency it can transfer data at speeds of 106, 212 or 424 kilobits per second. NFC operates in 3 different modes. You have peer-to-peer mode, which allows two NFC-enabled devices to exchange various pieces of information between each other. These devices switch between active when sending data, and passive state when receiving data. Then there is read-write mode. This is a one-way data transmission, where the active device links up with another device in order to read information from it. This mode is used when you interact with an NFC tag. Lastly, there is the card emulation mode, where the NFC device is used like a credit card in order to make payments. So how to use NFC? First you want to see if your phone or card supports NFC. You can verify this by looking for the following NFC symbol. What to do next depends on what you want to do, but it basically all comes down to the following. You open an NFC app on your smartphone and tap your device against the programmed tag. Then, depending on what was programmed on the tag, your phone will perform a task. This could be opening a web page or even configuring your phone settings. How secure exactly is NFC? One of the biggest selling points of NFC payments is better security. The short range of the technology makes it harder to intercept. There are, however, still a few weaknesses or loopholes. First, you have eavesdropping. Even though the data transmitted is encrypted, the attacker can intercept it and try to decrypt it in order to gain access to private information about the user. Even though the range of NFC is only a few centimeters, some white hat hackers claim they have succeeded in intercepting data from as far away as 5 meters. Secondly, there is a chance you are not using an up-to-date app. This is important since it is the app that makes sure you have the most recent security fixes. Then there is the simple case of theft. Many people get their smartphones stolen, and the thieves can make use of this mobile payment if your phone is not properly secured. So make sure you enable all the possible protections at both device and app level. Next you have interception attacks. They work in a similar way to man-in-the-middle attacks. The attacker receives information from one device, changes it to his needs and then passes it to the original receiver. The hacker can only do something if both devices are in active mode, and even then the devices could recognize an error and stop the transmission. But just to be safe, keep NFC turned off whenever it's not needed. Lastly, there is consumer privacy, which is becoming more and more important. A type of man-in-the-middle attack, called a relay attack, is one of the biggest security concerns when designing an NFC application. When using a common man-in-the-middle attack, the attacker inserts himself between the two communicating devices. First you'll need two devices, one sender and one receiver. When a message is sent from the sender to the receiver, the attacker will instead receive it first. He'll try to alter the message and then pass it on to the original receiver. But because most NFC tags support mutual authentication schemes, the amount of data the attacker can decipher is minimal and it almost completely prevents the modification of the message. But when using a relay attack, the attacker does not attempt to modify the message, he just passes it between two devices. At first sight this too seems useless since all the data is encrypted. This is however a major security issue for NFC payments. This is how it works. First you get an accomplice to hold his receiver close to the victim's NFC-enabled credit card. Next he sends the data to the attacker's phone. When the attacker receives the data, he can just tap against the payment terminal and use the victim's credit card to purchase an item. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. See you next time.